We're gonna build a deck around these guys, right? This is a super value card. I mean, this would go in a value deck. Unfortunately, that's not what we're probably doing. Where did I leave off? No, did we lose where we were? Ah, we're still there. Okay. So now we have Kia, and I mean, I'd be willing to brew around it. I think Plasma Capture is really cool. I'd love to brew a deck around it. I just can't fathom what the deck would do. I would get as far as, okay, we Plasma Captured something, now what are we going to do with the mana? I don't know. I would love to brew around that card, though, Plasma Capture. I just don't know what we would do with it. I don't know what we would do with the mana. There's a lot of 2s and 3s being run in Modern, right? So you counter a 2 or a 3, but what are we doing with the extra mana? Right? Like, what will we cast for 6 mana or 7 mana that would be degenerate enough, like game-breaking enough, right? I don't know. It'd have to be really good to run something as bad as Plasma Capture. Oh, Ralzeric. I can't think of anything to do with you in Modern, but you are sweet. If you're wondering why I have 3 of this card, it's because we were messing around with it in Legacy, and still might be. Reaper of the Wilds is sweet. Oh, Math, of course. Chainveil's Super Friends. Ooh, Retether's cool. Plasm into Grizzlebrand, says T-Fate. Bring Ral, and he seems sweet to think about. Okay, well, we will think about him. Probably won't play him. I can't really think of anything that untapping in Modern is degenerate, but there might be something. There might be something worth untapping in Modern that nobody's thought about. If anybody, hey, you get brownie points if you can think of something cool to untap, because I have a soft spot for Ralzeric Trading Post. For Ralzeric. So I get to use Trading Post twice in a turn instead of once. I don't know if that's good enough. Rock's Faithmender. I liked that one deck. A buddy of mine used to love it. It was Tyler. He would play not Faithmender, but it was the other rocks. It was the 4 mana. They can't attack. And he would run it with like Venser, Time Vault, and Island. Play Door to Nothingness with Ral, says Pure. That seems like a lot of moving parts. Door to Nothingness. Plasma Capture. I had a cool Sarkon Vol deck, but I sold them. I did have a cool Sarkon. If you guys are curious what the Sarkon Vol deck did, let me tell you, it was sweet. Find this card, guys. I'm gonna find it. And when I do, oh, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be sweet. Shapeshifter's Marrow. Hold up. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, they reveal the top card if it's a creature. The player, meaning my opponent, puts the card into his or her graveyard, and my Marrow becomes a copy of it. Interesting. What if you skipped your upkeep? You would have a 4 mana 6/6 trample if you had a way to skip your upkeep. Chainveil plus Nissa, Warwaker, and Ralgo Infinite. I'm familiar with that, Leo. I was trying to do that in Standard, and then I never got the Nissas because they were too expensive, because people were trying to play her in fair decks, and then that was like the last time I was ever interested in Standard, and I never played it since. I didn't finish the deck, if you were wondering. I had almost all the pieces to play it back in the day. Rhino! Let's play mono rhinos, right? You've whirled the whole clade with Realm. I'm gonna find something sweet, guys. I am. Just a matter of time. We're only on S's. There's still a few more cards to go through. Sorcerer's Strongbox. It's awful. Have a look at it, though. Exile a creature from my hand. Put a token that's a copy of the exile card onto the battlefield, where X is the converted mana cost of that card. Okay. I love Soul Ransom. I would love to brew that deck, even though it's awful. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I would brew that deck. I would brew it many times. I just think that's such a cool card to brew around. Seance. Oh, did I miss it? Hang on. Seance. Did I miss it? I didn't see it. I thought Seance was more than 4 mana, though. Isn't it 5? Have we just not got to Seance yet? Hang on. Let me scroll up. S-S-E. Seance. I probably skipped over, didn't I? Aha! There it is. Exile a creature from my graveyard. If I do, put a token... and then I have to exile it? I don't get to keep it? That could be a cool brew, though. But I don't get to keep the card. Zurd's Weirding would be cool. I think this has been done before. I think that's why I have them and why they're white border, because they were expensive at the time. Zur would be a really cool deck, but he's expensive. Zurd's Weirding would be a cool deck, but I think it's been done before, and maybe it's not good in the metagame anymore. Probably isn't good in the metagame anymore. Wide Wind is really cool. I'd like to do something fun with that. Yeva. That would be a cool deck. Okay, I think I have... So we must pick one of these many things. We must pick one of these very many things. I mean, we don't have to. I'm just... Ooh, Whip is fun. Yeah. Now I'm like going back and regretting that I didn't pick some of these cards like War Barge. Although I've brewed with it before, but it is really cool. Wakestone Gargoyle is a cool deck. It's a defender deck. But there's actually some really good defenders out there that people don't use. Like the 3-drop with Flash. Wand of the Elements. There you go. What exactly is going on here, asks Killer Kevin. I'm trying to think of a cool card to brew with in Modern. So we've kind of pulled all the cards I've been thinking about. Savor the Moment and Shah of Nar Isle. Savor the Moment. Assault formation for defenders now. That's true. Savor the Moment. So I'm going to take an extra turn for 3. Okay, I'm savoring. And I have to skip the untap step of it, but maybe that doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm taking extra turns. I'm with you. And then what happens? Shah of Nar Isle. So I get it. I'm with you so far, so I take an extra... Oh! No, this is an upkeep. Echo is an upkeep. Savor the moment. I don't know if you savored this long enough to understand. Skip the untap step. Yeah, it's okay, Pure Mom. I was really excited for a moment because I think Savor's really cool. Savor's good with Planeswalkers, says Flux. So I get an extra turn with my Planeswalkers. So I'm going to spend 3 mana to get an extra turn with a Planeswalker. An extra Planeswalker. Sundial of the Infinite plus Treason. Oh, there's cool things you can do with Sundial of the Infinite. I just think Sundial is weaker now, Snafu, because of Kolaghan's. In fact, already, no offense, buy Wand, buy Lodestone. buy Whip, buy Warbarge. I mean, Kolaghan's Command, no offense, you kind of ruined Modern for brewing. It's just such a powerful card. It's so flexible. It's in a lot. It's in every deck that can run it, and basically I can't really brew like I used to with artifacts. Makes me kind of sad. I mean, there's some artifacts that you can still brew with. It's just you want to be careful that it's not a payout card anymore. Saber, Chain, Planeswalkers, anything with Vigilance. Yeah, Saber's good with things with Vigilance or Planeswalkers, I suppose. There's got to be a card here that's worth brewing around. Zer's Weirding deck was hard, though, I remember. It was hard to pull off. And it's probably even harder to pull off. Zer the Enchanter deck would be really sweet, I just don't own the Zers. Living Lore probably isn't much. Alright, so we could build a Defender deck, we could build a Madness deck, we could try to build a deck that abuses the mana off of a Plasm Capture. It's not going to be good in every matchup, though. Somebody suggested Grizzlebrand. The problem is, I'm pretty sure, I don't think this makes colored mana. X mana, any combination of colors. Oh, okay, any combination of colors. Jace, the Mantis Rider, Lightning Angel, and Saber. Build Zer Reanimator. Right, if you haven't checked Planeswalkers, that's very true. Ghost of Prison. Jeez, into Mantis Rider. Into Lightning Angel. Pia and Kieran would be a cool deck. Even though they're totally going to get toasted, at least they're making Thopters. I think the Plasm Capture would be really fun, and like, I have 2 Grizzlebrand. Modern Swag. Man, like, go for it, Flux. Thank you for asking. Go for it. No, I think the ones that have my vote for brewing: Plasm Capture, Soul Ransom, Wakestone, Gargoyle, Defender deck. Although I think we already built this. Yeah, we already built this, didn't we? But it was still a really cool deck because you get to run one of the best defenders ever printed. It's actually really good right now. It is a 3-mana 4/4 flyer. I'm not making this up. And if you run it in a Wakestone Gargoyle deck, early game it blocks, late game you kill them with it. Plumeveil. Plasm Capture into Cantrip Grid. Oh, to draw with Grizzlebrand. I mean, there are going to be some matchups. What's funny about Grizzlebrand in Modern is there are 2 types of matchups in Modern. There's going to be matchups where you just want a 7/7 lifelink flyer that's just awesome, and then every other matchup you just want to draw a bunch of cards with it and then just win with sheer card advantage. Pretty much every match in Modern diverges into that. Yeah, Plumeveil. It's Plumeveil, Flux. It's definitely Plumeveil. You could go super deep and run Vent Sentinel, but I think it's just Plumeveil. I think it would just be like blue-white, Wakestone, Gargoyle, Plumeveil deck. And then a bunch of Cryptics and Paths and, card's strong. It's a 3-mana 4/4 flyer. Like, Wall of Frost? No, it's Plumeveil, guys. This thing's solid. And then later in the game, you're like, oh, well, Wakestone Gargoyle. This is just the thing that lets you attack with the Plumeveil, but this is the reason to play the deck.